Hello, hello, hello! Mr. Ansel here from Boxcar Gaming, and today we're going to be covering parts of Boxcar. This is the Boxcar app. Today we're going to be focusing on settings. When you launch the Boxcar window, you'll get the app. We're looking at version 3.8. The settings are in the bottom left-hand corner. Settings are comprised of 5 subcategories. We have core, interface, auto launch, local server, and active keybinds. Core is made up of inherent delay. This is the delay between actions that Boxcar takes. This is switching a character, clicking a key, clicking a mouse, something like that. Suppress invalid character commands and warnings. This is useful. Obviously, if you don't have a character mapped to something, you'll get an error. When you select this, you won't get the error. And not only will you not get the error, the following command that was supposed to be for that character will be ignored. So if you have commands that have multiple characters, this is a nice way to say, hey, if I leave one character out, it'll have no effect, and I don't want to see any warnings. So you can turn that off. It comes off on default, and that's because when people are trying to figure out how to use Boxcar, they kind of need warnings to help them guide them in the right direction. Disable the keybinds pause window. This is the keybinds paused window. This is here to let you know that keybinds aren't being listened to. So whenever the main settings window is not minimized, that's true, or if you pause them. And if you don't want to see that window, you can just turn this off and you won't see it. Volume, obviously this is the volume for the audio triggers in Boxcar. You can adjust it. The game process name, this is the process that would be in Task Manager for the game. It comes defaulted to EQ game. If you're playing EQ2, if you're playing a different game, you can change it. Your mileage will vary on that. Reset the server window, reset the keybind window. This just lets you reset it in case it gets off the screen somewhere. You can reset them. You can do this for any Boxcar window, so like over here you can select this. This is like the reset window button. But also for these settings windows, there's 2 settings windows, the server and the keybind. You can do that. Open data folder opens the finder at the Boxcar location with the Boxcar INI file. So if you don't know where that is, you click this button, it'll pop it open, and then you'll know, and you can access it. You can put custom sounds, you can get your INI file, create custom desktop shortcut, self-explanatory. Moving on, we have interface. Interface, also self-explanatory. This is the default interface. This is a global interface settings for all windows and buttons and stuff. If you right-click a background of a window, there's a new settings feature here. You can click that settings. This would be the window-specific settings. So you can reset to defaults, which are the default settings you have here that are global, or you can window by window customize them so you can have different things for windows. You can reorganize your character order on this one for that window, a hotbar order. You can, customize whatever you want in here. And then in addition to that, customizing the look of buttons, you just right click the button and then you'll get the edit button, and you can go ahead and edit the button here. Auto launch, this is a way to launch your game clients so you don't have to go manually do it. Path to the executable is a path to the .exe game file, for instance EQ game. The executable args are the patchme/login. That's basically if you were to launch this exe from the command prompt or something. These are extra arguments that get passed there that tell, for instance, for EverQuest, this says don't try to patch the game, and also this is my username. The brackets with username tell Boxcar to replace that with your character's username. And the command is saying, this follows the Boxcar command syntax. Have a delay, wait 5 seconds, enter the password for the character if it exists, wait 2 seconds, press the enter key, wait 2 seconds, press the enter key, wait 45 seconds. This comes kind of pre-canned to work for EverQuest. It might be different. The game file path might be different for your setup. Go ahead and change it. You can also do this on a per character basis if you want to as well. On characters, if you go click edit, you can go custom launch. Here you can see this one's using a different version of EverQuest for an emulated server, but it's basically the same otherwise. You can do that on a character by character basis if you don't want to use just like the global one. But this is the global one. Local server, this is if you have multiple computers running Boxcar and you want to send messages between them on the same local network, you can do that. Is server has to be one of the computer has to be is server. The connection status window gives you this other kind of system window that lets you monitor the connection. And obviously auto connect on launch is just so you don't have to come back to this screen to start the server. And then start server, we'll just start the server and you'll get some logs in this window. The PC identifier should be unique per computer. That is the identifier you use in your commands to target specific machines, specific computers, and they need to be unique. Name it whatever you want. Active keybinds is a system that will show you the active keybinds you have. For instance, if we just add a keybind to this button, we'll say, I want this button to go off every time I press the button 3. And I say key 3. And then I do that. Now you'll see here we have key 3 came from a character. The character was TK. The button title was assist. And the command that'll execute is here. This is just so you can monitor what keybinds you have turned on currently that are being listened to. And that's it. That's the settings. You just did it. 7 minutes. We did it. If you have any questions, find people in the community page on Discord. I'll be in there. I'll probably respond to you. But yeah, these are the settings for Boxcar version 3.8. Have a good one.